everybody, welcome back to my channel. So, as you know, I'm headed back to the trail this coming Saturday. I'm looking super forward to it. I will be doing a couple days of slack packing. I'm going to get from the NOC all the way to Fontana within 3 days, but 2 of those days I will be slack packing. So because my wife's up there and because I'm going back to the trail and I just want to get used to walking the trail a little bit without my pack prior to attacking, large slopes with my pack. And then I'll go to Fontana. I'll stay a night in the hotel there. And from that point, I will be in the Smokies. So I'm really looking forward to going back. But today, I wanted to talk to you about my shoe and the choice that I made, about the shoe that I will be taking back to the trail with me. I did buy another pair, which I think I'm going to take back. I have 2 brand new pairs here. And so I want to show you the difference between the two and some of the positive features of both of them. Let me start off by comparing everything at the bottom of the 2 shoes and go up from there. So I'm going to start off with the Altra Olympus 4. I had the version 5, but there was a major squeaking with them in the first 30 miles, and I ended up taking those and sending them back and returning them because I got them from REI, and so I was able to return them. And I'm glad I was able to because they have a major problem. Altra, if you hear this, you guys got to fix that squeaking problem. That is just not good for anybody, and it drove me insane. And so I ended up going to the Altra Olympus 4 version when I got to Mountains Crossing at Neal's Gap. And from that point all the way for the next 107 miles, I didn't have any problems with my shoes. Now, the reason why I did decide to buy another pair of shoes, and that is the New Balance Fresh Foam Hierro version 7, I believe they are, was because I wanted to try and see if I could do something about my tight calves. My calves were super, super tight while I was out there on the trail. And I was wondering if it's because of the difference between the 2 shoes. The 2 shoes, the Altra has a 0 drop. And that means from the heel to the toe, there's no percentage of a drop. It's a flat shoe from the heel to the toe, much like a pair of flip-flops or sandals that you might wear that they're just kind of flat. They're just made of basic rubber on the bottom. Whereas the New Balance from heel to toe has an 8-degree slope, I believe it is, or 8% slope. I'm not sure which one that is. I'll try to leave that information in the comments below when I get the chance, okay? So I needed to see if maybe there was a difference. And so I bought the New Balance wide 2E in a size 10. And I was hoping that would be a good test of the 2 shoes and see which one was best for me. So let's go back to the bottom of the shoe. Both of them have Vibram soles. Both of them have very aggressive lugs. You can see how aggressive the Ultras are, and you can also see how nice and aggressive and thick the lugs are on the New Balance. So the Vibram sole was a must for me. When I was in the military, I had Vibram soles put on every one of my boots, and they were just always a very productive, long-lasting sole, and I never really had to worry about tripping or slipping on rocks or stones or anything when it was raining out. So I decided Vibram was the most important. So that was a positive thing. Both of them have a good foam base, and it's soft when you're walking. I did notice that foam is soft enough that it probably get compressed pretty quickly, and especially the first 400 to 500 miles. And on this one, the foam is pretty soft as well. As a matter of fact, you can see me. I'm pushing my fingers inside that foam on the New Balance. So I did like that. It did feel better while I was on the trail. On the top, they both have a good, nice, soft fabric that stretches a little bit, but also allows water to get in and water to go out of the shoe. Now, there's two different ways people look at this. They might get Gore-Tex style waterproof shoes, or they might get shoes that dry fast like these, that let the water come in, but it goes straight out of the shoe. I chose to go with the water coming in, going straight out, because Gore-Tex, for me, causes my feet to sweat. So I didn't want to deal with that because it ends up being just as bad of a problem as if they get wet anyway. So everything, and then the ties, I like the thinner style tie on the Altra as compared to this thicker kind of fabric-y tie that's on the New Balance, because I feel like that right there will absorb water and kind of just stay wet, and I don't want to deal with that. Whereas this won't absorb water and it will dry much quicker. So that's the positive. And of course, on the back end, you can see there's a pull here to easily pull the shoe on, take the shoe off, and there's a pull on this one as well. So putting the shoes on with both pairs was very easy, and tying the shoe was pretty easy as well. And that's about where the comparisons end, because from there, the differences are pretty extreme. You see how pointed that toe is on the front end of this shoe as compared to how natural looking the front end of the toe box is on this shoe. I'm going to show you a little short video where I put my foot inside 3 different insert soles to show you how much space there was on each sole. And one of the things I noticed about the Altra is that my foot fit fully, and there was some space at the front, but if my foot pushed forward on that front, it didn't push my toes together and squeeze them together. So that happens a lot when you're going down mountains. Your foot kind of naturally pushes forward towards the front of the shoe. Well, if your foot is constantly pushing forward and then your toes are getting squeezed together, over time it starts getting a lot of pressure between the skin, and I ended up with a blister on my pinky toe, and that really ended up hurting for a few days. And I didn't want to have to deal with that again, so I was able to put tape on it because I did wear these shoes. But I feel like if that kind of tightness of pushing the toes and squeezing them together would actually end up causing a whole lot more blisters between each one of my toes, and I just don't want that to happen. The other thing I did notice is that there is a nice rubber outer here on the outside of the foot on the Altra, and a nice tight rubber inner on the same shoe that would keep your foot from doing a whole lot of moving left and right. So it just felt like the Altra would be a lot more stable while I was walking than maybe these are. They do have an outer and an inner kind of plastic or a rubber feel right here, but it's not as high on the shoe on both sides. So I don't feel like this particular shoe would offer that kind of same support on the outside of the foot. This also doesn't have. This one here has a gator trap right here, so I can use gaiters on it, okay? And then it's got the little piece right here where you connect the gaiter in the front, whereas with the New Balance, it doesn't have that. I want to wear my gaiters because, well, it's simple. I don't want to get little tiny stones in between, going inside the shoe as I'm walking, and I have to constantly take the shoes off and dump the dirt and the stone out of the shoe. I put these on. These are the 2E wide version, and my foot was still kind of crushed. It's still kind of narrow. Still felt like the shoe was narrow. It didn't make a lot of sense to me, because the reason why I bought these is because earlier I bought the New Balance Fresh Foam 880s, and look how wide that is. That's plenty wide. My foot felt great in these, so I was like, hey, why don't I go ahead and spend $140 on these and see how they do, because they might end up being a better option for me than the Olympus 4s. So I bought them, and I get my foot in there, and my pinky toe was rubbing right up against the outside of this, and I was like, I cannot wear these shoes. So as you probably are hearing now, I ended up going with the Olympus 4s, even though they have a 0 drop from heel to toe, I will probably just get an insert that lifts my heel up a little bit and see how that does. It might not even been the issue. It might be just because, heck, I haven't gotten used to walking 8 to 10 miles a day every day for so long, and so my calves were tight. They weren't so tight that I was like in pain. I just noticed that they were tight at the end of the day, and I wanted to do something about it. So I took the chance on these. Well, that chance was taken. I didn't wear them for any significant amount of time, but putting them on gave me enough information to make me say, I cannot choose to wear these shoes. To be honest, I don't know how anybody can wear these shoes. I have a picture of 10 different foot shapes on the front end of your feet in your toe box area. And out of those 10, only 3 were shaped where the toe was in one position and the rest of the toes were pointed like this. All the rest of those 10 were more like this, where it was angle, where the toes come up and they have a more natural angle from the toe to the big toe down to the pinky toe. So I am going to stay with my Olympus 4s. I will not choose to ever buy the Olympus 5s. They're going to have to fix them, and hopefully when they come out with the Olympus 6s, they go back to whatever design they had on the inside of this shoe so that it doesn't make that squeaking noise. It drove me insane. I will never buy the Olympus 5s again. I know that this is apparently an issue with everybody that buys the Olympus 5s. So again, Altra, if you hear this, you might want to try to make a fix on those Olympus 5s, because I promise you, you're going to get a lot of complaints on this particular Olympus 5 shoe. Anyway, overall, I did love my Olympus 5s. My Olympus 4s. I did like the Olympus 5s as well, but that squeakiness, I just couldn't handle it anymore. These Olympus 4s, I have a black pair, all black, not like this where there's some white, that I already wore, and I'm choosing to go ahead and use these when I start back out. And I will probably switch out both pairs of shoes every 100 miles just to make sure I give them a good amount of wear each time. And I'm not going to take them with me. I'm going to have my wife either take them to visit me. Whenever she comes to visit me, I'll switch them out. Anyway, I hope this information was a benefit to you. I hope that you might consider one of these 2 pairs of shoes. Hey, if you have a foot that's shaped like this, great. Leave it in the comments if you've noticed that the pointy shoe just doesn't work for you, and let me know why and what you think about this pointy design that seems to be like in every shoe manufacturer that I know of. It's like they don't do any research, except for the Topo and these Olympus, or the Altra. Both Altra and Topo have a wide toe box, and they're the only 2 brands that I'm aware of in the shoe industry that have that. So anyway, drop some information, some comments about what you think about a wide toe box as compared to a narrow, pointy toe box, and let me know. Anyway, please follow along. I'm super excited about going back to the trail. If you enjoy my videos, please like, subscribe, and share my videos with others. And I look forward to being back on the trail. And if you end up out there, I will see you on the trail. Talk to you next time. Bye.